So good morning everybody. From today we'll start the concept called real numbers from class 9. And before I get into the concept called real numbers, we'll take a recapitulation of whatever the collection of numbers which you have learned till now. The starting collection of numbers which you have learned is your natural numbers, which we denote with n, and these are your numbers 1, 2, 3, so on. The next collection of numbers which we have gone through is the collection of whole numbers, which is formed by joining a number 0 to the collection of natural numbers, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. Now moving on, we have again a new collection of numbers which is formed by joining negative numbers to the whole numbers, and they are called your integers, and we represent integers with z or I. And they are -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. Now the same thing you can write in different way, that is 0, plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 3, and so on. Now this is what you have learned up to your class 7. In class 8, you have started with again a new collection of numbers which are constructed using integers. Those are your rational numbers. So rational numbers are the numbers which are of the form p by q, where q not equal to 0 and p comma q are integers. Now these rational numbers we denote with a letter called q, and this is what you have learned, or this is the last collection of numbers you have learned up to class 8. Now we dig deep into this collection of rational numbers. In fact, we recapitulate whatever you have learned in your class 8 once again, and then we move on to the concept called real numbers. So today what we do is we discuss about representing rational numbers on the number line. Now rational numbers, you can classify them into two categories. One category is the numbers where the numerators are less than the denominators, that is numbers of this kind. Numerators are less than the denominator. And the next case is the reverse case, where the numerators are greater than the denominator. Now we try to learn how to represent these kind of rational numbers on a number line. Of course, there can be other cases as well using negative numbers. If you disregard to the signs, then the case will be just similar to this. So first we discuss a positive case, then we discuss about how to apply the same with regards to the negative case. Now I am going with a number called 3 by 5. Now representing rational numbers on the number line, we have two methods. At the outset I will be discussing one method and followed by the other method in the later case. So 3 by 5. So we draw a number line. So what we do is we start with 0. We know that 3 by 5 is greater than 0, so we start with 0. And 3 by 5, here the denominator is 5, so we start writing 1 by 5, 2 by 5, 3 by 5, 4 by 5, and 5 by 5 is 1. And you can move further. So we got the number which we want here, that is 3 by 5, so we encircle this. So this is the way we represent 3 by 5. So that is, looking into the denominator, we start writing numbers 1 by 5, 2 by 5, 3 by 5, 4 by 5, and move on until you arrive at 3 by 5 and as many numbers as you want, and we'll encircle that number which is required in this case. If suppose you want to represent 5 by 3. Now 5 by 3, again a similar case. Start with 0, again we move with 1 by 3, the denominator is 3, so we start with 1 by 3, 2 by 3, again 3 by 3 is 1, so I am writing 1, so 3 by 3 is done, next 4 by 3, next 5 by 3, next 6 by 3, 6 by 3 is 2, so I will leave it. You can also move forward, it is not required, so I will leave it here. So this is 5 by 3. Now this is the way we will represent these two rational numbers on the number line in this manner. So here our focus is entirely on the denominator, where here the denominator is 5 and we start with 1 by 5, 2 by 5, 3 by 5. Here the denominator is 3, so 1 by 3, 2 by 3, and so on and so forth. So this is the way we go about 3 by 5 and 5 by 3. Now the same thing applies with minus 3 by 5 and minus 5 by 3. Now we are doing on the right side of 0 because all these numbers are greater than 0. Now the same thing we apply on the left side of 0 because minus 3 by 5 is less than 0. Also minus 5 by 3 is less than 0. That is so now put a 0 over here. The denominator is 5. So start writing this minus 1 by 5, just like the way we have moved forward here onto the right side of 0. Now we move on to the left side of 0. So minus 1 by 5, minus 2 by 5, minus 3 by 5, minus 4 by 5, minus 5 by 5. 5 by 5 is again 1, so we'll add minus 1. Next. We move like that. Say minus 5 by 5 is done. Next minus 6 by 5. Now we want minus 3 by 5, so encircle that. Now you can also do a similar case with minus 5 by 3. Now this is the way we represent rational numbers on the number line. Now this is one method. Now there is another method which we go about that, and that is more effective compared to this. Now the fallacy of this method is, if suppose the denominator is somewhere around 27. Now you cannot write 27 numbers, that is 0, 1, 1 by 27, 1 by 2, 2 by 27, 3 by 27. It is a bit laborious. So to avoid such kind of things, we go with a new method, or a method that is more effective than this method which we have discussed now. So again, I'll be discussing a positive case which you can apply the same for the negative case as well. Now going with 3 by 5. Now we see the literal meaning of 3 by 5. Now 3 by 5 is 3 parts out of 5 parts, and here 3 by 5 lies always between 0 and 1. Now that is what you need to know. So 3 by 5 always lies between 0 and 1. So what you do is, you mark 0 and you mark 1 and divide the space between 0 and 1 into 5 equal parts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 equal parts, and out of these 5 equal parts, we want 3 parts. So 1, 2, 3. Now this is what we call it as 3 by 5. Now this is basically on the definition. Now here the point to be remembered is, whenever the numerator is less than the denominator, the number always lies between 0 and 1. Now as per the number of parts that is to be divided, which is indicated by the denominator, you will divide those many parts. For example, say some 2 by 7. 2 by 7, the denominator is 7 and the numerator is 2, which is less than the denominator. Therefore this number lies between 0 and 1. So we'll write 0, we'll write 1. So denominator is 7, which indicates that we need 7 equal parts. So right, divide that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So these are your 7 equal parts, and out of which we need only 2 parts. So 1 part, 2 parts. So this is 2 by 7. Now this is the case where the numerator is less than the denominator, and the point to be remembered here is, whenever the numerator is less than the denominator, it will always lie between 0 and 1. If suppose you are looking into a negative case, now this will lie between 0 and minus 1. So 0 and 1 is for the positive case, when the numerator is less than the denominator. Here when the numerator is less than the denominator, for a negative case, it is 0 and minus 1. That is you do on the left hand side. That is, so 0, say minus 1, denominator is 5. So we divide into 5 equal parts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 equal parts, out of which we only need 3 equal parts. 1, 2, 3. So this is minus 3 by 5. Now the same thing can be applied for any rational numbers where the numerator is less than the denominator. Now we move on to the last case, where the numerator is greater than the denominator. So when the numerator is greater than the denominator, we write that in mixed fraction. So this is 5 divided by 3, 3 ones are 3, we are left over with 2. Therefore you can write 5 divided by 3 as 1, 2 by 3. That is 3 ones are 3, 3 plus 2 is 5. So 5 by 3 is 1, 2 by 3. This tells you that 1, 2 by 3, or in other words 5 by 3 lies between 1 and 2. So straight away you write that. You draw a number line. You start with 1 and end with 2, and divide the space between 1 and 2 into 3 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and out of which we need only 2 parts. So 1, 2. So this is 1, 2 by 3. So that is whenever the numerator is greater than the denominator, we write that into mixed fraction. Now that tells you between which two numbers that number lies, and you will mark those two numbers and here this is the thing that is required so that we can divide that space into those many equal parts. Here the denominator is 3, so we are dividing that into 3 equal parts, out of which we only require 2. This is one part, this is 2 parts, so this is 2 by 3 and this one, so 1 2 by 3. For suppose say this is something like 13 by 4. Suppose it is something like 13 by 4. 13 by 4, when you divide it, this is 3 1 by 4. 3 4s are 12. 12 plus 1 is 13. So which indicates the 13 by 4 lies between 3 and 4. So draw a number line and mark 3 and 4, and the denominator indicates 4 equal parts, so divide the space between 3 and 4 into 4 equal parts. 1 2 3 4, and out of which we are interested in only one part, so this is your one part, so finally this is 3 1 by 4. So that is all. That is about the representation of rational numbers on a number line. So I'll be providing you with a worksheet on the same. So today we'll conclude on this, and tomorrow in the next session we'll discuss something much more than what we have discussed today. So that's it.